Okay, so some of you have an accent and you may be working on the English or the American market and you're not, a native English speaker. And so that might be a problem if you're trying to work on these markets. Or you might even be in your own country, right? And you might be coming from one side or the other of the country, north or south. And then the texture of your accent, even if you're speaking your mother tongue, might be very different than the flat standard accent of your country. And so you might need to do a lot of work in order to get your accent to be like the standardized accent of your country, or the standard American accent, or the British accent. And that might feel like it's really not an easy thing to do, especially if you start doing that as an adult. If kids start doing that because their brain is very spongy, they just absorb it, their palate changes shape, and they get to speak a lot of different languages really, really fast because they absorb it. And as adults, because we've learned to have a lot of resistance in the way that we're conditioning, it might be really challenging for you guys to actually polish that accent or delete it if that's what you want to do. So what I hear a lot of actors say is that it's a lot of hard work, it's not easy, and it makes you feel, if you're auditioning or you're putting yourself on tape, you might actually kind of feel that there's no point doing it because you don't have the right accent, or you can't do the right accent, or they won't trust you because your accent is not that good. So in a way, the way that you kind of show up to your audition, or even show up to your entire career if you have an accent in the market that you're in, is you might kind of be denying your chances or your opportunities yourself, and kind of ejecting yourself out of the equation just because you think, well, I don't have what it takes. I don't have the accent that it takes, and therefore there's no way that I can book this. So it's a lot of hard work, and it is feeling like a problem. Like, I have this accent, it's not the standard accent. I'm doing everything that I can to get rid of it, but yet I haven't gotten rid of it. And at best, when I show up at auditions, and I'm really good in my class, but when I show up in auditions, because of the stress or the tension, I focus too much on the accent, and then I can't really be there as an actor. So it really is a problem for a lot of actors. And when I kind of talk to them and about how they feel, and you might recognize yourself here, actors really feel stuck because they don't feel like there's a possibility, or there is a possibility, but they feel that there's a little chance for them to kind of really delete their accent or to get it to be standard. They also feel like there's less work for them because they have an accent. They feel like they're not competitive in the market, and that in a way it's kind of unlucky, unfair, and that they're doomed. So it's really like a very sticky and stuck place to be in. And I don't recommend staying there because it feels like a problem and you're stuck in it. There's not much you can do about transforming your mouth so that you sound in a way that's similar to other people. So what I would like to address today together is actually what the real problem is, because the problem, and if we perceive it as your accent is what is preventing you from booking and from having the career that you want, in my opinion, that's not true at all. Absolutely not. Quite the opposite, actually. Your accent is not the problem. The real problem is that you are blinded by what you think the industry wants, and that you're not sure that you can fit, right? So let me say that again. You're blinded by what you think the industry wants or expects, and how you think you can fit that expectation. So they are wanting an accent to be, let's say, blue, and you're not quite sure that you can get to blue. You're working hard, but you're not quite sure you can get there, and therefore you feel like you can't fit. And that is the problem, because you're an artist, and as an artist, you're not there to fit. Artists are not there to fit. I'll repeat it again. Artists are not there to fit. And the second you try to fit, to correspond, you're no longer an artist. So you're no longer bringing the value that you're there to bring. The value that you're there to bring is not your accent. As an artist, your job description or your responsibility is to shock, is to revolutionize, is to impact, is to go beyond what we already know. Your responsibility is to make us see things in a way that we could never have seen them before you came in our life. That's your responsibility as an artist, no matter what your art is, whether it's music, painting, whatever it is. It's for you to give us an opportunity to really make us see the world differently. Your job is not to fit. Your job is to make us see something we can't yet see, and we'll only be able to see it with you. And so what I mean by that in this context of accent is I have some actors that I'm working with, some clients that have strong accents, and that dropped the idea of trying to fit, of trying to adapt, of trying to delete their accent. They dropped that idea, and instead they've put their focus, I can't say that one, they have put their focus on what they are really bringing to the table. So they'll show up at the audition, or they'll show up for the role on their self-tape, and they'll really actually focus on something that comes from the heart, not something that is trying to fit, but they'll focus on, okay, what do I want to bring here? What can only I bring here? And that's what they focus on. And when you focus on that, and you walk in the audition room or you send your tape, and they see something that is so much more juicy, so much more important than an accent, when they see life, when they see a human being, when they see uniqueness and a proposition that goes beyond anything that they have imagined, what happens is that they will rewrite the roles for you. They will rewrite the character description. They will make the accent fit. They will hire a coach, or they will give you another role. They will do what it takes to keep you. So what I'm saying is that instead of having the little fight over your accent, which is not satisfying to you, and at the end of the day, someone with the accent that they're looking for will do it better than you, why do that little fight that's so non-artistic and kind of shrinks your contribution? And instead, why not focus on what you have to bring, on your humanity, your freedom, your truth, your instinct, right? On your uniqueness, on what only you could bring to that role, which is way beyond what they've imagined and described, which is a real human, unique, untethered, not trying to be appropriate, not trying to fit contribution. That's an artistic contribution. And that will fill you with satisfaction. That will be fulfilling for you and impactful to the audience. You showing up with a polished accent does nothing to no one. It doesn't touch anyone. It doesn't move anyone's heart. It doesn't do anything. They might as well cast someone that has the accent they're looking for. So what I'm saying is, drop that fight. There's nothing for you there in what you can feel and in how you can impact. Nothing there for you or for your audience. However, if you have the courage and the integrity to come for the character, no matter your accent, and fight for them with an instrument that is free and truthful and unique because it is free and truthful, then you strike a chord. Then you attract it. Then people stop breathing in the room because you're bringing something that is way bigger than what they could have imagined. And that is what they're looking for. That is why they are rewriting roles. That is why maybe your role is written in a show and meant to die, and they work with you and they end up not killing your character because they want to keep you. So that's what you want to go for something that is way bigger than fitting, because you never became an artist to fit. You became an artist for the opposite. You became an artist to say your truth. And because it's yours, it's meant to exist. Right? So I hope that makes sense. Roberto Benigni, in La Vita è Bella, in Life is Beautiful, he has done so many movies where You practically don't understand what he says because his accent is so thick. But his heart is so present. His uniqueness is so, I want to say unique, but that doesn't make any sense, right? His uniqueness is so delicious, is so spectacular, that is the only thing we care for. And his accent is actually, of course, charming and touching and makes him an even bigger person because he dares to have such a big heart in a language that he doesn't master. So you coming in vulnerably with an accent that you don't control and making big choices with all your heart and all your instrument is gold compared to you just being able to do an accent. And some industry people might make you think that, and the character description might make you think that, and your agent might make you think that, but you have to fight against that. You have to show up much bigger than that, because people don't even know that that's what they want, right? They write a story and they put an accent in there and they think that this is the puzzle piece that makes the whole story work. And then you show up with something a gazillion times more interesting, and then they're ready to change all the script for you. It really doesn't matter. So make sure that you not just embrace, but honor and cherish and defend your accent, right? And if they want you to have a different accent, they'll hire a coach if it's really crucial to the story. So of course, in order to get to that place where you can show up fully free, authentic, and human, the work that you want to be able to do is to work on you, right? Not on your accent, but on your capacity to show up fully human, fully free, fully truthful. Because if you're feeling like you want to fit, like you're afraid of what people are going to think, like you want to people please when you do a scene, like you want to do it right, and that you have emotions that are stuck, or you feel that you're not supposed to be nervous, or you feel not good enough, or all of these things, then that's what you want to work on. That's what you want to focus on and put your energy in, is actually working through those blocks and back into your freedom. And that is what is allowing you to then show up on tape or in a room with that star quality, because you are. Because everyone is a star when they're fully free and authentic. Look at any child. Before they get conditioned by schooling and education, they are stars. You can't take your eyes off them because they're divine and magnetic and shining. That's why we call them a star, right? So it really is for you to be able to go back to that place. You want to put your focus and your energy on your raw material, on your main ingredient, which is you, and which is how you're capable of feeling all these human emotions, how you're capable of using them, how you're capable of showing up with them naked, without putting masks on, without shrinking, without being tense. And of course, that's the work we do. If not, I wouldn't be talking about it because I'm just obsessed with it. So if this makes any sense, let us know in the comments and we can send you some information. There's a wait list for the reset right now, but let us know and we can hook you up and let you know how it works and all of that good stuff. Right. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.